Hey y'all, Backwoods Modeler here. Welcome back to my workshop. Today I'm working on another crew cab square body. Just because I want to build another white one. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet. I have some options here. I'm thinking of, I have this service bed, but the color doesn't quite match. So I was considering possibly using this one from Auto World. It looks like it might be a little closer to matching that white. So let's see what that looks like. And yes, I think the white matches a little bit more on that one. So I think that one is now going to be a project. See, every time I do this, I start creating more projects for myself. So then I have this flatbed. So I'm thinking I might do the flatbed on the GMC here. And then I also have this Coke truck, since I've already stripped most of the parts off this poor thing. And then I don't know if you guys have messed with any of these much, but this one you can see how high the hole is for the axle. This axle came off of a truck that was slammed. So we do not want to use chassis, base, frame, whatever y'all want to call it, on the bottom of this truck. But I do want to use this cab because it's a white one, and I'm thinking of using it for my business possibly. And I do have this truck. Oh yeah, also, like I said, I stripped everything off. Oh wow, it's got an engine. That I'm surprised about. Anyway, this one here has a nice normal ride height chassis. We're probably going to steel it, the grill, the bumper, and then I don't know what we'll do with the bed. We'll just pop it off and put it in a stack. I'm starting to gain a pretty good stack of these dually beds. So anybody's interested in them, I think I've got 4 or 5 of them maybe. So those are the projects I'm working on. And then I have another one that I want to take care of back here. I have this white Ford. Used to be a waste management truck, so I had to take all that crap off of it. Still has the license plate on it though. Couldn't get rid of that, so we're just going to let that ride. Maybe I'll paint that black at some point. But anyway, I have this other black one here. I'm going to take this ladder rack and the ladder off of this black one. We're going to put it on the white one. It's the same truck, so should just swap right over. Hard part is going to be getting this off without breaking it. So that is going to be a real near future project, but that's just a quick, easy one. That shouldn't take but a little half an hour. So these two are going to take a little bit longer. I'm going to have to find a chassis for this one so we can make it a little longer, and find me a dually chassis because that's a nice dually bed. So those are our new projects we're going to work on here. This bed here, I guess you're just not getting used again. So let's get some painting done. We'll get some of these torn apart, and then I'll be back and show you how we're going to put these together. All right, y'all. So you've been following me for any length of time. You already know that I change my mind. It's a drop of a hat. You never know how things are going to turn out when you start to build them until you start building them. And then the truck sometimes tells me what it wants to do. Does that make sense to you? It didn't make sense when I said it. Anyway, I've changed my mind. We have a different utility bed we're going to put on this short box Chevy that we started on. The other bed that I was originally going to put on there, the white matches a little bit better, but that bed is just too wide for this truck. So as you can see here, that the white bed fits the crew cab a little bit better because the crew cab is a little wider. So this other one is not quite as wide, so I found a smaller bed to put on it that doesn't stick out so much. And then doesn't make this truck look so bad. But man alive, look at the difference between those two trucks, size-wise. Anyhow, I was thinking about it there a little bit ago, and I guess this is going to be really considered my first parts box build video, especially because we're using so many different parts to build these trucks, and Technically, this white Chevy was the only new one that I pulled out of the package. The rest of this stuff that we're using all is coming out of my parts box. We are going to change the chassis on this truck because the chassis that came on it is just going to be way too short for this truck, so we can't use that anymore, so that's gone. So now I had to find something that's going to work. So I have these two Dodge truck chassis that I can use. I think we're going to go with this one just because this one has the dual axle. This other one is just single axle, so I think we're going to go with this one. I think it'll be a little easier to cut down. So we're going to start hacking this down to make this fit. Right now it looks kind of funny, but when I get done with it, you'll never know it looked like this. So what we're going to do, we're going to cut the running boards off of it. We got to cut these fender wells off of it to get that truck down. We'll probably have to make a nice straight cut across here because we're putting a straight nose body on there. And then we will end up also, we're going to have to shorten this because it's just a little bit too long, as you can see. So we'll shorten that down. Then we'll paint everything up when we're done to get rid of all that glossy green. And then we'll start putting her together and she'll start looking a lot better than what she does now. Now, this one back here, I'm going to try to do both these trucks in this video. This one back here is a little bit different. This one we have to stretch it. So luckily, I just so happen to have a couple of these frames, so I can use this one to help me stretch it with. So that won't be a big deal either. Once we start stretching it, it'll start going together pretty well. You can see it's really close, but these back wheels, you can see, are just a little bit short. It needs to be a little bit longer, and it's really maybe 1/4 of an inch is all I think 1/4 is too much. More like 1/8 maybe. 1/8 of an inch we need to stretch that, so it's going to take 2 frames to do it. So I need to get cutting and hacking, and then I'll be back with a progress update here shortly. Alright, so don't mind these wheels and tires. They're just on here to help me mock this thing up. So, as you can see, we've got a good 1/2 inch out of this truck. So, the way I try to do it is so that we lose as little detail as possible. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to cut it. You can see I got a line scratched in here. That's where I'm going to try to cut it right behind the tail of the transmission. And we're probably going to lose almost all the way to the muffler here. I don't know, maybe a little bit less than that, but we're going to lose a lot of that. So I'm trying to cut out this section here because there's not a whole lot of detail in here that we're going to lose. And we'll try to keep as much back here as we can and as much from the transmission, as we can. Try not to cut any of that out. So, as you can also see, I have all the fender wells that are cut off. I've got the front flattened out so that it fits on there a little bit better. And like I said, we're going to cut here, and then we'll cut back here somewhere, and then we'll start putting it back together. I just wanted to show you that real quick. Well, what do you think? Are we starting to look like a truck now? We're still not completely there. We still got a little bit of gluing and everything to do, but I've got everything cut, set. So now, you can't see it. I just got to start gluing this one together. So I'll start gluing this one together, and then I'll start working on the Chevy, or the crew cab. Alright, so we've switched to working on this one. And I had to take my grinder, my Dremel, and cut all this high part off the top of the frame to get that bed down just a little bit lower. And I got her down, I got her in place, and I want you to see just how close it is to fitting. We've got to stretch that frame less than 1/8 of an inch, probably like a 1/16 of an inch. That's all we need to stretch this thing. So we'll get that going here, and I'll show you what I did. See the difference in these two here, how that's now flat on top, or this had a little bit of a riser on top. So I ground off the riser, and that allowed the bed to drop down on there and sit just about right where we wanted it to. So now all I got to do is cut this frame, stretch it a little bit, and we can start putting this one back together. Alright guys and gals, before we go any further, I got a little slip in here. This is a truck that I built here, I don't know, a couple weeks ago now. I ended up with 2 sets of these World of Outlaw trucks, and I built both of them the same exact way. I built took the crew cab, put the short bed on it, and then put the dually bed on the single cab. And I took all the decals off all of them except for the last 2. My buddy really thought that it looked better with the decals on them. So he ended up buying the single cab dually out of this set, and I still have this one. What do you guys think? Do you guys like it with the decals on it, or should I take them off? Because this truck is going to go on the internet for sale, and I want to know what you guys think, because you guys are going to be the ones buying it. Well, maybe. Anyway, I just wanted to see what you guys thought about this truck. Should I leave the tampos and the decals on here or take them off? Leave me some comments down below. Let me know. All right. Now, next one. You've seen in the beginning of this video, I had the this ladder rack came in the black Ford. So I got it to fit in here. I didn't realize at first that this is a crew cab, and the other Ford that it came out of was a extended cab. So the bed was just a touch longer, but I got lucky and I was able to cut it and make it fit in here, and I think it looks pretty good. That's going to be in my company trucks, so I think that looks pretty sweet. So that's out of the way. Now let's move on to this one. This one I think turned out sweet. What do you guys think? Just a regular Auto World truck with a green light bed, and this bed came off of a Dodge truck. It was one of the first ones. It was a green one that they did. This is probably 3 or 4 years old now. But it fit on there pretty good. She rolls good. I got the bottom painted all black, so got rid of all that green. Can you see where I cut it right there? I was able to save most of the detail. I was able to cut it right at a cross member, so I was able to save a ton of detail on this truck. So that one turned out pretty sweet. What do you guys think? It's my Auto World green light service bed. I'm probably going to stick this over into my company, one of my company trucks for now, till I get a better one. I need to get a couple of newer ones with service beds on them. So now on to the other one. And I tell you guys, I won't lie to you, sometimes you do a project, they just don't turn out. Something just doesn't work. So this is one of those times. And I wanted to show you, just because I wanted to show you guys, you know, I screw up too. This thing turned out wonky. You can see it's crooked. I won't let you, well, I will show you. These are all the shims and everything I got in there. And I think what happened is, during all the cutting and hacking process, this piece right here is plastic. And I think what I did is I melted that a little bit and tweaked it, and which is making the whole thing not set level. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to let this all completely dry. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this plastic piece out of here and then re-glue it back on there. And then I'm going to have to jack this up a little bit. But then this, I can fix this a little bit. This just needs a little shim in the top there. That'll straighten that out. But when a project goes wrong, don't slam it against the wall, because that's really what I wanted to do. But just think, you can fix it. You're going to be even madder at yourself if you bust it. So this truck is not done yet. I'm going to have to do some more work on it. But just know, guys, if they don't turn out, don't get discouraged. You can fix them. We can fix this. So I'll show this in another video when I get it fixed. This video is already getting too long. So anyway, hope y'all liked them. If you did, think about subscribing, hitting the like button. It really helps out my channel. Check me out on Instagram. Check me out on eBay. And don't forget to come back. Y'all have a good day now. Bye.